The following show features episodic breakdowns of Jackass, either performed by professionals or under the supervision of professionals. For your safety, avoid listening to this podcast at all times. Hi, I'm Mikey Aaronworth.
I'm Jason Wellwood.
And I'm Chris Aaronworth.
Welcome to Jackass.
Welcome to Jackast. It's the podcast where we're on a path of destruction through every single episode of Jackass.
We're just three fans of the show reliving the belly laughs, bad ideas, and broken bones.
Today we are doing episodes.
I am a robot.
All right, guys. Sorry, we're doing episode 7 of season 2 today. Took place on April 1st of the year 2001.
Ooh,
Oh,
boy.
let me guess. Your fun fact is going to be an April Fool's joke.
Oh, fuck off.
Dude,
Fuck
like,
off. I don't have any backup plan.
I
don't have a backup plan. So there we go. Skip that segment for the day. Thanks, Mike.
oh, we're not even getting the fun fact?
Fuck. My fun fact was going to be an April Fool's joke. And
I know
I was
you
just
too
going to
well,
make it
man.
up as I went along, to be completely honest.
I
Fuck.
still want to hear it.
Give
I
us
don't
one,
even
Chris.
have one.
We'll
I
make
was
one
just
up
gonna
for
make
us
it up.
then.
What the fuck you doing here if
Well,
you don't have one? Jesus.
Have you ever heard of the town of Burning San Diego?
No, Chris, I haven't. Why don't you tell us about it?
Well, there was actually a massacre at a public school. You had the teacher, a male teacher,
shouldn't have
who
asked.
has got
This was a
caught
bad idea.
having sex with a female teacher. I wasn't
Okay.
a student. Yeah. But
Okay.
then the students were really upset, and they were actually doing a cult ritualistic ceremony, and they slaughtered both of the teachers and bathed in
Okay,
their blood.
okay. All right. I do
April
have some follow-up
Fools.
questions.
Welcome to Jackass?
Welcome to
Oh, wow.
Jackass.
I like
was a
it. That
little
was a
heavy.
good story. That was
heavy.
almost as
I literally
tragic
made
as
that up on the spot.
the Michael Schumacher story that you told in like episode
Do
1.
not even say Michael Schumacher. That hurts too much.
I think I would have learned my lesson by now, but hey, welcome to another episode of Jackass. Chris, this is season 2,
Schumacher
episode
is his
7.
name. Like, do you think his dad was a shoemaker? like
Yes, or his family was.
Oh, really?
Yeah, no, that's why you have those names.
Yeah, I
like
just
like if
thought of
you're
that now.
if you're like John Smith, then your dad was probably a Smith.
So is Benedict Cumberbatch's name because he's got his family had come on their back?
Yeah, but it's like one of those inside jokes. Like they didn't know that someone came on their back, and then everyone's making fun of them behind their back. Look, these guys come on his back.
Oh,
like
hey,
a
there
kick
you
me
go.
sign made out of
Yeah.
cum.
Ooh.
Oh,
Yeah.
now listen, pre adhesives like Elmer's glue. Yeah, that was a pretty good adhesive to throw on someone's back. there when
Wow.
they were
Well
looking.
played, sir. Well played.
Well, hello guys. My name is Johnny Knoxville. Wait a minute, that's not right. Do it again. You know, I think this dude got it right the second time. I think he just has a bit of an accent, so maybe, I don't know, leave the poor guy alone. He's trying.
I think he was
gave
saying.
it, he gave it A+ for effort.
I think he was saying Nashville the whole time, and no
Johnny
matter
Nashville?
because at one point they're literally like, not Nashville, it's Knoxville. He's like, all right, I'm Johnny Nashville, and they're like, no, literally the only thing you need to change is don't say Nash, and he's like, all right, Nashville. We're like, okay, I
It was
understand.
close to lunchtime, and he was really thinking about a hot chicken sandwich.
Ooh man, I could go for one of those. It was
I've
funny.
never had one.
Otherwise, 10 out of 10 for effort from this guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, 10 out of 10 for effort, but, you know, the editing speaks otherwise because after the credits roll, the first thing we get Johnny Knoxville saying to the camera is that this sucks, as if our big daddy Johnny is just disappointed. But it's not Mr. Knoxville or Mr. What would we call him here?
Nashville?
Mr. Nashville here that he's disappointed with. It's the bear cage that he's walking up to. Or no, wait, I'm ahead.
No,
Sorry,
no,
guys. My
this is
notes
the
are
ramp.
way out of fucking order here. Let's back that up. We'll get to the bear cage. That's a good one. But yeah, he's
All right,
on the
juvenile,
ramp
back
right
that
now.
ass up.
This is the vert ramp out of the lake. They're getting a lot of use out of this fucking thing. Knoxville's on the top of it saying it's going to suck. And I think the funny part is that they have to throw in there the fact that you don't skate is going to make this pretty shitty. Get a quick pat on the bum from Bam, and then he's off down the ramp, and it's an instant bail. But I got to give him, you know, credit for trying, that's for sure.
Were you guys surprised at how much the crew and cast were cautioning Johnny against doing this? Like
Yeah.
he's done a lot of dumb shit, and I understand like this could be dangerous, but like even Johnny seemed way more nervous about doing this. Like not all he's doing, because yeah, you can really hurt yourself, and going down on a skate ramp is actually really difficult. But he's about to do it, you know, in the same way that Tony Hawk would have done it leading up to the loop-de-loop and things like that, and he's shaking. And he's also wearing a Confederate helmet, which is a little bit questionable from back in the day. But it's just amazing to see how much hesitation he has. And literally, the cameraman, I guess it would have been Rick Cossack or something up there with him, is like, Johnny, I don't think you should do this. Like, I was like, whoa, what am I missing here?
Yeah, you can hear the wind whistling as he's up there by himself. It's pretty quiet. Pretty quiet.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, the one thing he had on his side, and it makes a massive difference, is that it's a roll-in and not like, what do they call that? The coping or whatever at the top? Like when you actually have to drop into
just like
a rail.
the pipe that you drop down on.
Like if someone pushes you and you just keep a center of gravity, like you should be fine. Hence why he was able to make it
as far as he did.
If he had to drop in, it's like that's a whole level of commitment that if you don't know what you're doing, it's a lot sketchier. But even still, I was definitely shocked at how nervous everyone was for it. I was really excited when I saw him so nervous.
Yeah,
you don't see Johnny
you definitely
that shaky
do not.
too often.
But hey, for those of us who do not skate, don't worry. We brought the horse. Chief Roberts is back again. And get back on that horse he is.
Guys, wasn't it really nice seeing Chief Roberts?
Hey, it's a welcome sight to see Chief Roberts. I love Pontius, right? But
hey. Oh,
what?
Hey, well done. Speaking of horses. Well, he said, hey. So, horses.
I thought you meant that he had a horse cock.
If you bring up horses on this podcast, do we get a cool interstitial, or does that?
Oh, is this my horse cast draw from? That's an inside joke. If you don't listen to the Retrograde pod, even if you do listen to the Retrograde podcast, my other podcast, you still probably don't understand what the horse cast drop is, and yet we do it on just about every episode. So, good luck catching up if you haven't yet.
Anyway, Eric Payne is here. We've got a whole cast of characters: Eric Payne, Steve-O, fucking Pontius, Wee Man, England. But the cool thing that I like how they set this up is like everybody's got a different means of transportation here. We've got scooters, Steve-O in the red wagon, which he's really fucking nervous about, which is funny. He just goes right off the ramp.
Why is that? That seems like the most reasonable one to go down, like the safest one to go down on.
Yeah, you'd think so. You'd think so.
I have a question for you guys. So I love that, Jay. You're right. There's like you got the skateboards. You got homemade roller skates that Dave England goes down on. You've got the hobby horse.
Yeah, and we even see the human tricycle again.
Sorry,
which a couple episodes back.
Another Dave England special.
Sorry, Mike, I didn't mean to interject. Continue with what because I know you were getting at something, and I think I kind of jumped.
Yeah, I want to ask you guys because I was excited with all the different options that you have. You can either take from the menu of ones that we saw or bring your own object. What are you taking down the ramp?
Ooh,
taking down or not wanting to take down?
What are you taking down?
I'm taking down a skateboard.
Oh really?
Or
see, that's
skateboard
bold.
or a scooter for sure.
Yeah, scooter I could probably do. Yeah,
but skateboard, like I could do that on a skateboard, no problem. Even now, I think I could.
That on a skateboard, no problem.
You know what would be fun? Like if you just set up a slip and slide on that motherfucker and just took a run at it. You know?
Oh,
you'd go flying.
I would ride
that would be
fuck
awesome.
out of Preston down that thing. Oh my!
Actually, can I change my answer to sleeping bag? I'm gonna go sleeping bag.
That's a good one. Just oil it up and just shoot right off there. Yeah.
Yeah, come on, it'd be great.
I think the Dave England no binding roller skate just platforms is by far the sketchiest.
Sketchy as fuck, those things. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, dude. Break an ankle.
Who do you guys think won the biggest slam?
Biggest slam.
Ooh,
that's a good.
Yeah.
In terms of falls, I mean, I guess Steve-O technically because he was in the thong and he just scraped up his whole side. So maybe I'm wrong about the red wagon. Maybe that thing's more dangerous than we realized.
Well, I think it's because he went off the edge of the ramp, right? He has a huge ass bruise afterwards. I think if he would have just went straight off the ramp, he probably would have been fine. But I think it's because he landed on, metal hard ground. Yeah. So
I'd be going down on the I'd be going down on the tricycle. I think if I could.
The human tricycle?
Oh, fuck, we didn't give you an opportunity to
the
say
human
your
tricycle,
answer.
yeah. Human tricycle. No, I know. I was just going to insert it there because I didn't think that.
Would you feel more comfortable, honestly, this is an honest question, Mikey, on the human tricycle, would you feel more like locked in, like you had a seatbelt if your penis was inserted into the butt of the other part of the human tricycle? It's like
I was going to say the same thing. I mean? Great minds.
How were you going to say the same thing?
The funny thing is,
in the world?
Dude, the funny thing is I'm not even joking. Like I'm 100%. I was thinking that. I was going to make a joke about buckling in and all this stuff. Yeah.
Tell me we're not both thinking about dicks and butts right now. That's amazing. That's amazing.
Man.
I'm just looking at that bed frame Chris has got behind him, and I'm thinking,
answer,
what he told us before the show about how it broke, and I got butts and dicks on the mind. That's all I'm saying is.
That's awesome. Well, we spent quite a bit of time on this one, and you know what? So did the episode. So I don't feel so bad taking our time with it. But you want to hop into a rating on this one?
All right.
Chris, why don't you let us off?
I loved it. It's something simple. You just had so many different options, so many people involved, so much fun, so much laughs. It was just like a fun day at the park with the boys, and just the fact that they would find every different option, it just brought that up to me. This is a 9 out of 10 for me. There wasn't anything extravagant, but I had so much fun, and that's what it matters.
I like that. Yeah, I like that. I'll jump in on there because I'm not quite as high as you. It didn't have quite the communicative element of it. Like there weren't people talking, but I loved the camaraderie, similar to like we talked about in the Jackass movie with the paper clips and the muscle stimulator. I'm going with a 7.5 on this one, and it's a high 7.5. Like I feel like it could almost be higher.
Yeah, I think buckle me in for this one, boys, because I'm gonna go with bear with me here. I'm gonna go with a 6, but bonus point for Pontius in the inflatable chair because that was just brilliant. Inflatable chair on a skateboard, loved it.
Oh yeah.
And then if Bam
great.
sticks this next landing off the skateboard into the inflatable tube in the lake, let's find out. He sticks it. Extra point. We're going with 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10.
Yeah, Jay. I was let down with you.
So fucking impressive. That was so impressive when he hit that landing. Man, Bam, every so often you're just like, oh, right, he's an insanely talented skateboarder. Who forgot?
Oh, Jay, glad you turned that around. I was about to tie you down and piss in your mouth. Good thing you bumped it up at the last minute there. Because I got a full bladder, says Chris.
I wasn't.
I don't know why.
In your mouth.
Yeah, I
wasn't going to give you that satisfaction.
No, I know, right? I don't know why I picked you either. I was going to say I could have picked Mikey, but for some reason I was looking at you drinking that whiskey there, and I'm thinking
I'm usually better hydrated.
Ready to go. Yeah. Speaking of being ready to go, a dog named Dave England has a sexy time with a skateboard. Looks like fun. That's all I got to say about that. And we're on to big.
Looks like fun.
I almost threw up from that.
What?
Honestly,
you almost threw up from it?
It just grossed me the fuck out for some reason. I don't know why. I literally almost puked.
From the dog
anyways,
fucking the skateboard.
Yeah, I don't know why I didn't like it at all. It really bothered me. I don't know why. I've seen worse things. It just really got under my skin. But anyways.
Were you thinking about that Red Rocket episode of South Park?
Oh,
Red
my
Rocket.
God.
Yeah.
Don't even say that. That's so gross. My buddy used to do that.
Am I making it
with his
what?
fucking dog?
Whoa.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be satire. You're not actually supposed to go and do that.
I was gonna say.
All right. Well, Big Wheel Craze Part 2 is back up on screen. I got to say, I didn't even know we needed a Part 2 for this, if I'm being honest. I felt like Part 1 wasn't anything too special. And if you want to compare the two, I think Part 1 was actually better between the two. But yeah, they're just hitting jumps at the old park. Big jumps, big bumps. I'd say the only thing I'd say about this is that my balls were blue just watching this because big wheels make me want to come.
I was going to say.
Yeah.
I actually thought this was like the best I've seen of these little things for a while. I just had fun. Maybe I was just in a good mood when I was watching this episode, but it was like similar to the last one. It just had a good vibe for me. And I really liked the soundtrack music. It was pretty cool too. Some punk music.
Yeah.
I wish I knew the name of the song.
I agree.
A punk song that's literally talking about big wheels, which I was like, where do you find this song? How does there exist a punk song about big wheels?
I was hoping Jay would know because he's pretty big into the punk music. So I was kind of actually throwing it out there hoping he would.
No, I didn't look that one
title,
up, but
whatever.
I dig it. It was good. That's the only good thing about
it was
this,
okay.
I would say.
I think this one kind of teeters on the edge of interstitial and main stunt. I think if you look at it as an interstitial, it is a bit more fun. I think they could have shaved maybe 15-20 seconds off of it and it would have landed a bit better, unlike Aaron on his big wheel. But I don't think we need to give this one a review. There's not too much to say about it apart from it just being a little bit exciting but not very funny.
Dave and Aaron, do those guys have kids? Either of them have kids?
Be surprised after all those stunts.
Yeah, if they do, it's a fucking miracle.
Danger Aaron was on Steve-O's podcast and announced that his wife was pregnant, and that would have been...
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure when I heard on when Dave England was on Steve-O's podcast, he was talking about having kids. I could have sworn, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, that's right.
Yo, imagine growing up watching your dad do this shit. Oh my God. Like, imagine your dad was Dave. How do you respect your dad when he's Dave England?
With the most respect.
Oh.
Yeah, I think I'd be more worried about Aaron, honestly. Aaron McGahee.
Yeah.
I would just be thankful that I wasn't
No
in
offense,
that fucking
Aaron.
baby stroller on the bike when he's falling all the time.
Oh, yeah,
thanks for leaving me out of that.
Hey, I fucking love Aaron, by the way. He's totally fine. It's just, If I had to do the yellow snow cone, I think I'd never want anyone to see that. I would not want that seeing the light of day, is all I'm saying. But hey, they put it in the movie, so there you go. Knoxville, now here we go. This is what I was talking about early, boys. He's walking up to the bear cage, and oh shit, he says, what's his name? This is Bam Bam the Bear, and he's about to wrestle with Bam Bam the Bear, but not before donning his own bear costume, which I think is fitting because, I guess bears only wrestle their own people. It's a code of honor. Yeah, you must understand. If you want to get in the cage, you got to be one of them.
They bow as well. It's like a really formal thing that they do. Yeah.
I love when Johnny asks, if I grab his bear cock, do you think he'd be upset? Apparently they do go for the goods too, bears, so watch out, Johnny. It's going to be rough. What did you guys think about this? What did you picture before he went in the cage that bear wrestling would look like? Because for me personally, when I watched this, I didn't think it was going to be this. It's kind of just like those pornos where the big lady steps on the other guy. What did you guys think?
I think honestly, it was kind of much more lame than I expected, and I think to their credit, they just had a good idea and didn't realize how dangerous bears actually fucking are. Like, you can't wrestle the bear. The bear is so much bigger and so much stronger than you. It's just not possible. Especially if the bear hasn't been trained to wrestle humans. You know what I mean? Like, Johnny goes in there doing his best Habib Nurmagomedov impression and like thinks he's going to wrestle a bear to the ground, but like just tosses on the thing. And you can tell the costume is basically there to protect him from bites, similar to what they did in Pontius when he was getting chased by the police dogs. So once he gets in there and they're like, Johnny, you got to move, get up and wrestle. He's like, I can't get off my back. And it makes sense when you see it. The bear is just a solid few hundred pounds of muscle. Like, of course, there's not going to be much going on there.
I think that what I'm curious about is the bear is trained by humans, and very credit to this may be one of the best trainers we've seen on Jackass yet, because he was like responding to verbal cues and stuff like that, when to get off, when to do that. But I was worried that dressing like a bear or an awkward looking bear would actually throw the bear off out of its comfort zone and maybe not recognize that. Usually when they use bears in training things, and like you see in movies and stuff, the bears, you'll notice if you pay attention, they don't have teeth, they don't have their claws. There's a lot of like the bears in a lot of movies, when they do that big like growl thing, you actually see they don't have the teeth. This one's like very sketchy and could go wrong very quickly. It was anticlimactic, but it also was good because it showed the reality of like what a bear really can do. You don't fucking stand a chance. So I don't know. I have mixed emotions about this, but it was entertaining and interesting to me, at least. Yeah,
it feels like the kind of like every so often Jackass stumbles upon a stunt that's actually too dangerous to be good. You know what I mean? Like, you want people to get a little bit hurt, but you want them to have fun with it. In this one, Johnny's like, yeah, he kept trying to break my neck, and you see it, and it's like, yeah, no, the bear was trying to break his neck. Like, It wasn't, him banging his knee or getting kicked in the nuts by a toddler. This was like, oh, he could have lost a portion of his spine today. Like, that's not good.
This whole sequence too, it was slow, like you guys kind of alluded to. It's just a bear pretty much dominating Knoxville, so there's not a lot of movement happening. It kind of felt like, if for any of those wrestling fans out there, a wrestling match where the action is really slow, you got a guy just doing a headlock because he's already gassed out. Yeah. So, the camera crew in the truck is like, oh, fuck, this is boring. We're losing the crowd. What do we do? Quick, cut to the audience. We get a cut in of a monkey watching from cage side, and you get oh my god, it's like one of those typical audience reaction shots, hand over the mouth, like, oh my god, can you just believe he did that?
I just fucking love that monkey. I want him so bad. He reminded me of Spike from Ace Ventura 2.
Oh yeah, another good monkey.
Did you say?
Lots of good monkeys.
Excuse me, but did you say?
Sorry, I didn't say Cable Guy.
Did you say you wanted to fuck that monkey, or did I? I think Mikey was talking, and I.
Well, if you guys heard it,
I might have misheard you.
True.
All right.
I'm pretty sure that.
Haven't you guys ever seen the movie Virus? Like, isn't that how AIDS came around? Apparently, how someone fucked a monkey, some flight attendant or something. Honestly,
that person said that it was because he was cutting monkey meat and their blood mixed. But no,
he was
debatable.
Hey,
he was probably fucking a monkey.
Let's be honest. We've all cut the monkey meat once in a while ourselves, haven't we? If you know what I mean.
I mean, that is the truest thing I've ever heard.
Sounds like whacking off. Hey, let's give this a rating. Let's
let's do it.
I need to get through this quick because I gotta do some stuff unrelated to just what we were talking about a minute ago.
to cut a monkey nuts. I'll start with this one. This one had some potential, but ultimately fell flat. I'm going to rate this one a 3-ring circus out of 10.
Okay, don't know what that means, but 3 rings of the
Oh,
circus.
because there's
You don't
bears.
know what that
3 rings
means.
of the
What do you
circus.
mean?
Okay, I forget about that. I'm gonna go. I
You're
appreciate
not a
the
fucking
danger
zoomer. You know what
factor.
a circus is. Give me a break.
I actually do because we had our friend own the circus.
Yeah.
But anyways,
It's true.
I'm going 5 out of 10.
Okay.
5 out of 10. All right. I'm probably going to stick a little lower on a 4 out of 10 on that one. Take some balls to do it, but
Ooh, we got the roller ramp special 345. Let's have Johnny go off that on a skateboard. By the way, guys, I've been working on some drops to throw in. I hope that one works. We're really gonna get we're gonna get morning radio on your asses from now on.
Okay, that sounds amazing.
I got to tell you, Mikey.
Sorry.
I think I got to announce my retirement.
Oh.
That was wow.
This is this. Please don't let this be the second co-host I lose in a
No,
week.
dude, your drops they're too good.
Oh, they're too good.
I don't think there's anything I could do in post that could surpass that. And honestly, I'm feeling a little self-conscious now.
I would be too.
Gee, this is unexpected. Do you want to talk about the next one?
Yeah, I will.
Take a minute.
Listen, a lot of people look at the drops that I make and they tell them, well, that took me for quite a wild ride, just like you would get if you had a rope attached to your ankle, which was then attached to a horse, and it drags you through the countryside where Johnny
Talk
Knoxville.
about a drop, am I right?
Hey, Horsecast, baby! There's another one. We'll let Jay finish his laughter. Chris, what did you think about this one?
I thought it sucked. Like, there's different levels of things, and what I'm thinking first when I see this is if Heath Ledger could do it in A Knight's Tale, why waste Johnny's talent on some of this? Give it to one of the bozos or one of like the guys that we don't even know who they are.
One of the
This is just
bozos. Do you write for the New York Post? Where are you finding your adjectives from? One of those
I grew up watching
bozos
Bozo
over
the
there.
Clown.
Oh, okay.
Well, where's my cigar when I say that? I don't know why I feel like I need a cigar to say that.
All I was gonna say is when you said A Knight's Tale, I started thinking what was with that period where they made a bunch of blockbuster movies centered around like people becoming knights. Like you remember The Black Knight with Martin Lawrence?
Oh,
Martin
yes.
Lawrence, that movie was amazing. I love all those movies.
I feel like there was a lot of that going on. What was with that? Was
You
that
know what?
weird?
It's the same as the Marvel movies now. It's just people found a shitty concept and decided that they actually some people buy into it for some reason.
The Black
and they're just
Knight
hammering the hell out of it.
Extended canon. Yeah, I gotcha. Yeah,
If
extended
I didn't have
universe.
people hate me before calling Marvel movies shitty, I'm definitely became the non-fan favorite.
Yeah, you're gonna lose a lot of friends there. Here, speaking of Knights movies, I think it's just because whenever you see someone dressed in a suit of armor, you can't help but think, holy shit, I want to wear that right now. Where do I get a suit of armor? And I'm asking you guys because is there ever going to be a point in our life when we get to wear a suit of armor? And if not, I'm going to feel fucking ripped off growing up as a kid. I thought at some point in my life I'd get to put on a suit of armor. And the older I get, the less likely that seems.
Once you have a kid, I'm sure you could like con the wife into spending the money on it to like impress your kid.
Hopefully one day. So maybe it is worth getting married at some point or another, but
all for the suit of armor. Yeah,
all for the suit of
Then you
armor.
can, take it to the bedroom a little bit later for a little bit of
There you go.
hello, my sire.
Well, listen, a lot of married people say my partner is my suit of armor. I go out with that person and I feel like nothing can hurt me. But I don't make.
Who are you talking to? Everyone's divorced in this fucking world.
you're gonna.
You're living in fantasy land, man. No one gives a fuck about their partners anymore.
So is that like you're gonna like skin your significant other alive and wear them as a suit of armor?
Well, look, I wouldn't be able to if she invested in a suit of armor. Good luck. I'm not getting through that if she's wearing it. I can't skin her.
Some of the best logic I've ever heard.
I'd like to have a wedding reception where in the invitation it says "Bring your best suit" and then in brackets of armor.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be great. I guarantee you
whole
some
party
nerds
of-
have done that, which would be fantastic. I think we saw some of them in an earlier Jackass episode where Pontius infiltrated.
Yeah, Oh, dude, I was going to say, where did they get this guy riding the horse? Because full suit of armor. Maybe they went to the fucking Renaissance Fair, brought him back. I don't know. Maybe that's the night that Pontius insulted, you know?
Yeah,
dude knows how to ride a horse.
They skinned him alive. I think we treat this one kind of similar to the one with the big wheel. I don't know that we need to give it a rating. It's kind of it's just very inconsequential. It gives you a couple good clips, but there's nothing really to it. Are you guys good with skipping past this one with no review?
Yep.
Jay had it written for the listener who obviously can't see this. Jay had this one written down as one that we were going to review, and he just writes in the review sections under Mikey, fine, under Chris, fuck, and under Jason, it. Fine, fuck it. We won't.
Not important. Not important. And you know what? You know what is important?
What's that?
Representing the United Kingdom in style, this is Roller Bobby with Chris Pontius, and he's going to go and fight some crime. And what better way to start fighting crime than on the the metro and roller skates? That actually looks like a lot of fun. Yeah. I would be a little worried about breaking my ankle, as we alluded to earlier in this episode, but it looks like a lot of fun. Pontius, of course, sporting this year's latest fashions, a two-piece swimsuit with the British flag adorned on it. I think, boys, the Queen must be sopping wet right now watching this.
I do declare
That's all
she
I gotta
would
say
be.
about that.
Mm-hmm.
She's always wet. It's always raining in Britain anyway.
Wow.
But you know what?
From the sometimes, Mikey.
From the metro to directing traffic on the street, I got to say he does have the policeman's hat on, to be fair, so I think you're pretty much qualified to do it at that point. And this kind of goes off the rails quick, because the next thing we see is, oh, look, he's now mooning restaurant patrons. And I just couldn't help but think this is like post-Jackass Forever success high Pontius, where it's like headlines are reading, former king of sex, Chris Pontius, spotted exposing himself in the UK. You know, he's just going around screaming at the top of his lungs that this is all he has left. he Don't you know who I am?
In all fairness, he was stern.
Oh, stern but fair. If you're watching on YouTube, Chris is showing his T-shirt that he got based on the saying from the Gumball Rally.
Yes, indeed.
No, that's exactly. But when these ass people are trying to jaywalk, guys. They're breaking the law, and if it wasn't for Roller Bobby, I mean, he's not wrong. He's stern, but he's fair. He's fair. He's abiding by the rules.
That's true. He starts a little stop and frisk as well, stopping people on the street for no reason.
Oh my god. When he rolls by this like one kind of cuter girl and does this little shimmy and does this little laugh, like that would just melt in my heart.
At first she was like not into it, and he won her over, and I was like, that was awesome. That moment and him mooning the restaurant. For some reason, the mooning the restaurant, I just fucking died. I loved it. It was so funny to me. But yeah, apart from that, I don't know that there were too many other standout moments. He tries his hand at roller skating around like a skate park, which it looks like the skate parks in London are pretty shit. They're just kind of like little waves of cement. Like I don't know why they don't have actual ramps or rails, but you know, whatever they want to do out there, I'm not sure. And apart from that, though, it was kind of like they had an idea and didn't know how to make it anything. Like even from the start with him in the tube to going out on the street and directing traffic, it was almost like, oh fuck, this thing needs to have a hook. We don't have one. Let's try to imbue it with something funny quick.
So he moons.
He moons.
So he moons. Yeah,
Great
exactly.
improvisation.
Yeah, he might have been a little what's the word? He might have been a little sauced up there too. I don't know. He looked like he was having a pretty fucking good time though.
If there's one place you could get away with mooning people, it's definitely England. Like they whip out their fucking dicks at every fucking opportunity they can. Okay. They're just a fun, wild group of people.
Not sure if that's a statistical fact, but with that, I will move in to my rating.
I've been around them.
I'm gonna just give this one. This was actually a lot of fun. I don't know why, because like there's really nothing to it, but I just enjoyed seeing it. I'm actually gonna give it a 7 on this one. 7 for Roller Bobby, and I scored a little bit higher because that one chick in the restaurant looks like she's never seen an ass before. Her expression, she's kind of smiling. She's kind of like in awe of what she's seeing, but she's also a little scared, maybe. And she kind of just wants to go back to eating her dinner, but she can't look away. I felt for her. I identified with her in a strange way. I think we're all that girl in the restaurant to some degree.
I think she wants to ditch. I think she wants to ditch the salad on her table and toss a different salad, if you know what I mean. After seeing that.
Now, when you say toss a salad, I could just be going way off base here, but does that involve a tongue and a butthole? Is that like a rimmer or?
Yeah, it's eating ass. That's what
Explain
tossing
that
a
to me.
salad
Have
is.
you ever tossed a
It's the
salad
original.
with your tongue before? Because I ain't never done that before.
100%.
Who's doing that?
100 and fucking dude. I'll do it after the fucking goddamn bar, all sweaty and shit. I don't give a fuck, man. I am an ass eater. It
I
is
mean,
what
like
it
a
is.
real salad. Like you get a Caesar for you're having the family over for dinner.
Oh, I've never actually
Are you
tossed
tossing
salad
it with your?
with my tongue or
Thanks for
utensils.
the personal backstory, but I was asking about garden vegetables, but that's fine.
Yeah, for me, both on a personal and dietary level, I toss my salads with a fork and spoon.
See, okay, so I'm just saying, doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
Why
when you
is it
think about
tossing a salad?
That's true. That's true.
Shouldn't it be like mushing the pudding or like fucking like you could think of some better fucking names and
Mushing the
tossing the
pudding.
salad
No,
is
I
way
think
too
you just
clean
came
for
up
this
with
act.
it. That's
I
perfect.
think it's mushing the pudding from now on. I don't think there's any going back now. This kind of works that it was like this was an idea born of a sketch based in London because mushing the pudding sounds like something that they would do out there.
True.
I'm gonna
Little pie and mash,
give this
baby.
mash and pie. There you go. I would give this one a 5 out of 10. I think it could have been so much better. It had a couple moments to bring it up, but it just fell flat based on how much charisma Pontius could have brought to this. I think.
I'm going to 6 out of 10. If it was anybody other than Pontius, it would have been far less, but he just has that little charisma that just could make anything that's really nothing turn into something good. So 6 out of 10.
Talk about a salad you wouldn't want to toss. This is Eddie's Auto with Johnny Knoxville and his friend Dmitry Elyaskovich. And Eddie Harvey is a friend of Johnny Knoxville's father, for context here. He owns an auto shop. This is an old man. Don't know if he's still here with us today. He looked like he was, he was up
died
there, man.
he died the day
dead
after
for
this
sure.
sketch was filmed. That guy was old as fuck.
100% a
Yeah.
possibility. The thing here with Eddie Harvey, just to give you the context, is that he has a short temper, and basically we're sending Dmitry in here with his heavy Russian accent. I don't know if that was put on or real, but he's just going to go in there and try to piss this guy off because he's notorious for having a short temper. So here's the thing, though, boys, before we jump in and talk about it. I kind of wrote down note by note what was happening here. How do we go through this? Because I want to paint the picture for the audience. I want to. It's funnier if you see it. This is one of those things that's difficult to talk about, but there's a lot of key things happening here. I'm just going to highlight a few of them, and then I think we should just go into open discussion because when you see Eddie, when you first walk in, this is a hidden cam thing, by the way. Dimitri's wearing it, and you've got Eddie front and center at the desk. You kind of get the vibe that this could go very wrong. Like, you're kind of worried that how long is it going to take till he gets a little racist,
Yeah.
I just got
exactly,
that vibe.
Exactly. Yeah.
Given the circumstances. But he gets in there, and he's asking him, my car, she break down on the street. And, he's doing the accent. And he's asking him if he wants a mechanic. He says no, he wants Eddie. That's Eddie. It's this general misunderstanding going on. Where it starts to get funny is that the unexpected happens. Eddie gives him a free spark plug to see if it'll fix the car. I didn't see that coming at all. I don't know if you guys did.
Turns
But
out Eddie is a great guy.
turns out he's not so bad after all. And then Dimitri starts to push the envelope a bit, asking him for more and more. Don't worry, he has rubles. He has rubles, people he can pay. It takes a while to get Dimitri mad here. In fact, he actually exits the store to go talk to Johnny out in the car and say, he's not getting mad. What gives? And from here, I don't know. I almost thought they weren't going to get it. What were you guys, like, what was going through your heads when you were watching this?
I think that that Eddie just wanted absolutely nothing to do with this fucking guy, and that's why he actually gave him something for free. Like, when you walk into any business, have you ever seen someone postured up the way that Eddie was? He was just like, I don't give a fuck. Like, he's just like trying to just have his day. He doesn't want to deal with shit. Like, how do you run a business?
I was gonna say,
he was nice. He gave him a free shit, but I don't think it was out of like niceness. I think it was just like, I would rather just give this guy something free to not have to deal with this fucking Ruski bastard.
That's how it felt as well. It was like he's like, how dare you come to my store and try to buy something from me? Like, what do you think I'm doing here? Why do you think I operate this place so that I have a sign with my name on it and I can talk to my other racist friend about people like you? Like, that's why I'm here. What are we doing here? And but it does devolve into like a weird piece of performance art. Like it starts, like you said, Jay, with who's Eddie? You're Eddie, blah, blah, blah. It starts like an Abbott and Costello sketch, like who's on first. And it ends up being like three fucking stooges where they've got a bat that they're trying to hit Dimitri with. And the bat's going from one person to another and they're shutting the door and they're poking it through. And like too slow. Yeah, one guy puts his hand on between his eyes and the guy tries to poke it, or almost like it's so bizarre that I couldn't. This was like. It was like one of those weird apparitions, you know, when people talk about seeing ghosts and it's like, I couldn't stare directly at it, but I can see it if I were looking slightly away. It's like, I couldn't understand what I was watching when I was watching this. I had to just kind of like squint my eyes and just deal with it until it was over. And there was something that I really loved about it. It was just fun and so different. It was so unlike anything Jackass has done to this point.
You know what I loved about it is, like, all the credit to Dimitri. He knew how to improvise and play that, and he had some great one-liners that were good enough that they're believable and not over the top. Like, he really nailed it, to be honest. He took this from nothing into something. The fact that he had to go back in and try again just made it hilarious.
Yeah,
You know,
very antagonistic in a good way.
Yeah, totally. Dimitri here was very much old man Johnny Knoxville in the sketch where he steals the Santa Claus on his way out of the store.
Yes,
100%.
Because
that's a great
yes,
analogy.
they don't get Eddie mad initially, but when he goes back in, he's like, fuck it, I got to keep pushing this guy, and he does. He starts demanding gas. I want gas, give me gas now. This is where I started getting scared that, okay, we didn't see racist Eddie before, but he's coming. He's coming. Now the phone rings in the office before Eddie can say the next thing he had on his mind. Dimitri answers the phone on behalf of Eddie. Eddie just hangs it up, and now you can see, I think you stepped over the line because Eddie comes out of the back with a baseball bat, threatening to kill a Russian man in the auto shop. So
before he even grabs a bat, he's like, I sue you.
Yeah.
How are you going to sue a dead person? Can't sue anybody. I'm like, oh my God, this got dark.
And I love it too. Even in the face of danger, Dimitri, sensing he should leave soon, attempts to take a couple of bar stools with him.
Yeah. Here's
beautiful.
the difference. Here's the difference between the stunt with old man Johnny stealing things and this one is the basic premise of the old man Johnny one is he's going into a store to steal things. I think the funniest thing about this one is that the two people in the store are probably so confused. Like, what do you want from us? Why are you here?
We gave you free parts. Like, fucking leave us alone.
We have nothing.
Just leave.
Eddie has literally never threatened anyone in his life, and then up to this point, this man came in and just changed everything.
It turns out the whole sketch was about fixing a car, but it turns out the only thing that really needed to be fixed was Johnny's impression of old Eddie.
Yeah, we ruined a good man that day.
We ruined it irreconcilably. Do you guys want to give this one a rating out of 10? I don't know how we're going to do it, but I'd love to do that. Jay, you want to start us off?
Yeah,
I would love to. I will. I'll toss the salad first, as I can't imagine what that salad tastes like. That's probably like old tobacco and
tobacco for sure.
Just, I don't know, a life of regret and missed child basketball games, and
so you guys think he
not a good place to be.
Smokes cigarettes with his ass and eats child basketball games with his ass? Why does his ass taste like these things?
You just imagine your dad in the stands with his pants down doing a Ace Ventura talking out of his ass. That's it, son.
Can I ask you a few questions?
Get the rebounds.
That's old Eddie. Real nice guy, but a bit of a weirdo. Loves Russians.
I just imagine a cigarette hanging out of there too, and it just makes the picture so.
That's why it tastes like that.
Eddie's Auto is a good sketch because there's layers, people. There's so many layers here. I like that it's a personal story too, that Johnny actually knows this guy, so you're kind of wondering the whole time. It gets your mind going, just about what the interaction would be like if he knew Johnny was there, if he was the mastermind behind the whole thing.
Right.
I liked it. Had fun with it. Probably give this one a 7.5 out of 10, not a 75. God damn it! Wow.
Chris, what about you?
It's fun. I was going to go 7.5 as well. Dimitri saved the day, turned it into something. It was funny. It was weird, but they basically. I love when they make something out of nothing.
Yeah.
So 7.5 for me is what I'm doing.
Yeah, I'm honestly even going higher than you. This was fucking performance art. This was like Andy Kaufman-esque. I loved it. I'm going with an 8.5 out of 10.
Beautiful.
Okay, cool. I like that.
Bam is back up on the vert ramp at the lake. He's up high. They've got a box set up on top of the drop, so he's going to drop off the edge of the box down onto the vert ramp and straight down the ramp into the lake. Successful. Looked good, too. Pulled it off.
Yeah, you should have kickflipped it, though.
Oh, just never good enough for you, is it? I'll tell you what, though, boys. Speaking of from the lake, we're going to head on over to the Fisherman's Wharf, which is not far away, and things are smelling a bit fishy.
Ooh.
I was expecting something more creative than that,
no.
but
Yeah, me too. God, I disappointed myself with that one.
you even
Brandon,
took some
Ryan,
time
and
with
Bam.
it too.
Look.
It was dramatic pause.
If anybody knows a thing or two about disappointment, it's Brandon and his pirate impression, which has come back for the setup here. Mikey, please. I know you're not a fan of Brandon's impressions, so
Yeah.
if you would, please, could you out-pirate Mr. Brandon right now and give us the setup? But keep in mind, if you fail, listener, you will instead hear Brandon's pirate in place of Mikey. Mikey, go ahead.
Okay. We're here on the Fisherman's Wharf, and we've got one thing to do, and that is one thing jumping in a pile of a million little things. And those little things are fishes. And let me tell you, those little fishes don't smell too good, and they are pretty cold. And I think this pirate is Irish. I think I'm turning into Conor McGregor with this Irish pirate accent. Let's take to the Fisherman's Wharf and jump in there with the best of them.
You know, I'd say make me a Krabby Patty, because that was some...
That was pretty fun.
That was some good pirate right there.
The other thing too is like is what you know, Mikey like has his Dunn thing or whatever, which he is getting over. I'll give him the credit. The way Dunn looked like this, like a sailor, is what Mikey fucking dreams to look like.
Dude, I have a note that says I have a note that says Ryan looks really good in this sketch.
Oh wow. I didn't even notice.
Do I know Mikey or what? Right?
Wasn't he wearing a
that's
fucking
Mikey's
poncho?
No, he was wearing a
No, he has the turtleneck
The-
and the nice
shit.
little hat
and the pea
Okay.
coat. Yeah, he looked like
that's Mikey's fucking dream, is looking like the elegant sailor, not like in the yellow fucking not like the roughneck sailors, but like the elegant ones, like with a fucking pipe,
Yeah.
ready to roll.
I was just thinking like Curious George, like the yellow
Oh
raincoat.
no, not quite. Yeah, those no. This is no. He looked good. He looked good until he looked absolutely fucking terrified, and he looked so scared before doing everything in this sketch, and that made it kind of funny. I think that each of the payoffs, like he starts off just by getting pushed into an open pile of what looks like an incredibly dangerous place on a boat to be pushed in, where all these fish are being held in like 34 degrees water, which is insane. That would be super cold and super stinky as well. And then, but he doesn't get a great reaction. He gets pulled out, and then he gets into like a little place where they dump the fish, which is a cool impression or a cool idea, but also the payoff just doesn't seem that great. Do you know what I mean? Like I thought this one could have been a lot funnier if they maybe added some dramatic music or really played into the naval theme of it. The best part of this sketch was the fisherman getting creative with the stunts, like adding to it as well. That was kind of fun to me. But did you guys like this one?
It seemed like, I thought when they pushed him in originally that was where they were doing this thing, which clearly that wasn't the actual plan. So they pushed him in impromptu. He didn't expect to be pushed into there, I don't think. Neither did the people. When the guy pulls him out and slaps his ass
funny.
and pulls him up like that, the guy's got a howl out of that. But yeah, like you said, Mikey, there wasn't much to it other than the fact that it would have fucking sucked and been disgusting, and I would not want to be the person in that situation.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that. You definitely wouldn't want to be the guy getting, covered in fish. I love when they put him in that bin, though, Mikey. You mentioned he gets like the fish waterfall. They just pull this giant cartoon lever, and then it's just fish. Like, it's perfect. It's a great visual. I was almost thinking though, when they pull that lever, is a clip from Walker, Texas Ranger going to play?
What?
Does nobody get that reference?
I don't think
Oh,
Walker,
man.
Texas Ranger gets that reference.
All right, that's a bonus. That's a bonus. If anybody listening knows what that's from, leave us a comment on Twitter or Instagram at JackastPod. I'll leave it at that. Look it up.
You're gonna get
I'm really gonna fucking expect to see a fucking response to that one.
I don't know, Chris. You don't know the Horse Eggs
man.
crew. They followed us over from the retrograde, and they get every reference we throw at them, so they might.
All I'll tell you is that it involves a gingerly Irish man who's famous on television.
Okay.
That's all I'm gonna say.
Sheamus from WWF?
No, I kind of wish though, because yeah, that would be something. He could like.
Oh,
come
you
out
said gingerly, not
rogue
ginger.
kicker.
Sorry, my bad.
Anyway, another thing I had a thought of here. I don't know if you guys thought the same. The first part of the stunt where they throw him in the fish pool, like Bam pushes him in, and he says, "I can't move my legs." I'm kind of wondering, like, what are the physics at play that when you're in a pit of fish, like, what's that gotta feel like? You know, you can't move around. The ground beneath you just like. It's got to be like 1,000 tiny earthquakes. You know?
I bet it would feel similar. At a certain point, the fish just being packed in there probably feels so dense that it would be like buried in sand. I bet you that's a similar kind of feeling. I thought you were
going to say similar to sex.
I wouldn't know.
Well, this has been the Jackass. Thank you for joining us for season 2, episode 7. See you next week.
Well, speaking of abrupt endings, this sketch did have a very abrupt ending. It felt like Ryan was like, "No, sorry, I'm not doing anything. Let's just get out of here." And they literally ran out of the place, and then the stunt ends. So with that, why don't we end this abruptly as well and give this one a rating? You guys good with that?
Mm-hmm.
Jay, why don't you start us off?
Yeah. All right. So fish. Let's give this a nice 7 because I had fun with this one. It was. It surprised me. I didn't think you'd get a lot out of this, but there was just something fun to seeing how well. I think here's what surprised me actually is how well Ryan Dunn took this. I was surprised.
Whoa,
Because
really?
it sucks. Yeah, it sucks to have this happen to you. Like, you'd be smelling like fish for fucking days. It doesn't matter if you hosed off afterwards.
Right.
But like, he seemed kind of playful about the whole thing, and it kind of made the stunt more enjoyable.
Yeah, okay. I want to go into my review, Chris. I'd ask you to go first, but just to answer that directly, because I had the exact opposite impression of Dunn. I thought that he was very.
Oh, really, Mikey?
Yeah, really. Because every time he was about to do a stunt, he was like really hesitant, which was funny. But then he didn't give the camera much. He was just kind of like afterwards when he's getting hosed off and everything, even when he's down to his underwear getting hosed off, he was just kind of like turning away from the camera, not doing much. He just felt sort of frustrated with me. And I was frustrated with what probably could have been a better sketch. Where are the fish guts? That's what I wanted to see. I wanted to see more with the fish guts. You want to be a man, you get into fish guts. So this one I'm giving a 5.5 out of 10. I really wanted more, didn't get it. And this one, it's not a Ryan Dunn thing. I think it's just overall what they did with it.
Wow, I think, honestly, maybe for the first time other than puke sketches, I'm giving this the lowest one with a 4 out of 10.
Oh, yeah. I
didn't really have much.
I also understand that.
It was cool. I appreciate it. I actually like Dunn in this. He's the one that actually brought it up, but there just really wasn't much to it. I'd like to see a little bit more.
Okay, that's fair.
You guys are kind of making me feel self-conscious about my score now.
He fucking should be, fucking loser.
Do we all get one free April Fools in this episode?
Change your score.
I could just call April Fools. April Fools, and then it was a 1.5.
I thought your April Fools were going to be you get to fuck a teacher at a school before your students turn on you in a satanic ritual. That's my April Fools joke.
Mm-hmm. April Fools. I fucked your teacher.
You did?
You did?
Again?
My teacher or yours? We're in different sides of the country. That's impressive.
Sacrifice to the blood gods. April Fools.
April Fools.
Actually, Chris, I got to ask you about that. The whole time you were, fun facting that one, I was thinking, where does this guy get this stuff from? Like, really? Did you prepare that before? Tom?
Not at all.
Or did you just fucking?
I knew I was going to do an April Fool's prank, and I was just going to wing it.
Okay.
And then it got dark real quick.
Yeah.
For somebody
I had really bad dreams.
For somebody who's always
I
complaining,
was actually tested into the MK Dawn thing. I was doing they were making me do LSD. You know that whole MK Dawn.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Maybe not.
Yeah.
Yeah. It fucked with my whole brain. I've, murdered a bunch of people ever since. I don't really have compassion anymore. And April Fools!
So we all just used our April Fools somewhere?
Yeah. Fuck. I could save that for later.
Man, guys, I don't know about you, but the new Mortal Kombat sounds fucking awesome.
April Fools?
Another missed. We should probably just move on. This is Rick Cossack. It's not Rick Cossack. It will be Rick Cossack in a second. Rab himself and Bam Margera riding bikes down the street naked. Well, Bam's filming. He's not in the nude, but Rab is doing it, and he looks pretty content. Like, I gotta say, he's just doing it like, what? Fuck it, I'm naked. I don't care who sees my sees my dick and balls. He's confident on that bike. I like that.
Rab is
I would have liked it
guy...
a little more if he took the seat off the bike.
Ooh,
But
pulled a It's Always Sunny, a Mac. Yeah. Rab is the only guy who likes being naked more than Chris Pontius, and I respect that because I can't imagine he's packing as much heat as Pontius is.
And speaking of Pontius's wiener, that's something I'd like to beat on. Rick Cossack here is going to take a beating, though, demonstrating how we record a voiceover. This doesn't make any fucking sense, but he's putting a beanie over his eyes, and then a couple dudes just come in and start hitting him, pinching his nips. Eventually it escalates to the point that Ryan Dunn gets WWF attitude on his ass and hits him in the head with a garbage can. And that kind of felt like the moment of like, whoa, dude. Oh, come on, buddy. We were all having fun here, and then you just took it too far. Garbage can. I didn't understand why they fucking... Like, what did this have to do with voiceover? Did you guys get the connection they were trying to make here?
Yeah, because...
I was hoping you'd answer that, because you're the audio guy, right?
It's because they're basically...
I have no idea.
They're basically trying to get it so that they, like, you know how we were talking in the last episode about stilt boxing, where they have the sound effects going in and like the oof, like that they kind of put, they feed into the sketch so that they don't have to like always have the actors coming back and making the grunting themselves. So it's like, oh, if we get just Rick Cossack to make grunting noises, then we can in post put that on the overtop on other episodes. But like that premise was very vague in this one, and it didn't end up even being that good. So
yeah, but the thing is, that's not voiceover.
Yeah,
voiceover is Chris doing Denzel Washington in season 1, episode 8 or whatever.
I heard that again. That was bad. That was bad. I was even ashamed of that one.
I don't know. I'm sorry.
You guys.
Look,
I watched Training Day since then just to see how I measured up, and it was really bad.
No, but what they're doing there is Foley and like sound effects and shit.
Yeah.
That's why I got confused. I'm like, voiceover? What the fuck are they talking about? I'm reading too far into this. Let's move on. This is a little bit of a surprise ending, but believe it or not, we're at the end of the episode now. And here's the thing. I know already, because we kind of mentioned this off mic, that we seen this... I see this differently than you two do, and that's totally fine. You're allowed to like whatever the fuck you like. I'm cool with it. But I did feel like this next one with Steve-O unicycling by the creek. It felt like every other episode of Jackass, just about, we have this huge final stunt that seems like they're always building up to something. And not that this was bad, but it felt more like one of the interstitials you'd have mid-episode to me. So we're going to break it down and talk about why that feels that way and what everybody thinks. But just to give you some context of what is happening here, Steve-O is on his unicycle by what looks like a creek. He falls in, and we see pretty quickly that that is not a creek. That's sewage. So as Chris would say, I'm about to climax. And then we get Knoxville looking at the camera and saying, if you're going to be dumb, you got to be tough. And now Chris is about to climax too, because cue the music, baby.
Love
Beautiful moment right here. Is this the first time they played this song? Or I think it must be. But it's a staple of Jackass. You think of Jackass, and this is one of those songs that stands out. It's in the credits of, is it the first or second movie? I want to say it's the second, but I could be wrong about that. Iconic somewhat. But yeah, the stunts just take off from here. We got Steve-O jumping in and puking all over the goddamn place. And I mean everywhere. Like, he's walking back to the hotel, and I think on average about every 20 feet he pukes. He's puking off the balcony. He's puking on his own feet. He's puking in the shower.
I think honestly, like it was the progression of this one. I know that usually we have like a bigger stunt, like something with a bit more production value to it. But there was something about this one. I haven't really been that convinced by Steve-O in a lot of the earlier sketches, but this one was the most Steve-O sketch that I've seen. Yes. It had everything. It had him doing a dumb stunt like being on the unicycle, swimming in shit, which he fucking loves to do. He loves his shit stunts. Making everyone laugh, laughing himself, and then hurting himself again in spite of it, doing flips. Johnny in this one is, I think, like legitimately dumbfounded by Steve-O, and that's amazing. And I think that gave Steve-O so much confidence. So to the point when he jumps back into the shit river to grab his unicycle, comes out, drops his unicycle, and just starts walking back to his hotel room, throwing up every 20 steps. He looks like he's never been as fulfilled and confident in his entire life.
100%.
And it felt like this like climax to a hero story. And I just fucking loved it. I loved it so much.
A
Mikey,
man
everything
jumping
you
in poo, just for context.
Yeah.
Everything you said about that, it's like when that montage rolled, I don't know if we would have thought the same after we know how iconic that song goes with Jackass. That's hard to put into perspective. Or maybe this is why we love that song that goes with Jackass. But Steve-O has always wanted the attention. Up until this point, he's still been Steve-O, but we're looking at him as if he is the Steve-O of now. This was almost like the birth of the Steve-O
honestly,
we
I
know.
agree 100%.
He comes out and then he's kind of done with it, flips back in, does this stuff. He's laughing and throwing up and smiling. And just like you said, Mikey, he just looks proud.
Yeah.
Like, this is his moment. He realized that something special happened then. It was like a one take of him all the way through from the moment he was doing that all the way up to his room, into the shower. And it felt like cathartic in a certain way. It just kind of really brought out that Steve-O that we know. And to me, it was like a fucking origin story of a fucking superhero.
I totally agree.
And it was awesome. I loved it. I don't know why, but it just felt really good.
In my mind, Steve-O, this is the Steve-O that I know. And it was weird to see Steve-O come in where in earlier episodes, he just always had this vibe of like, hey guys, isn't it cool that I did this? Fuck yeah, I swallowed the goldfish. Isn't that so fucking cool? That's rad. Isn't that rad, everyone? And in this one,
You're
he's like,
so right,
he's
Mikey.
like, I don't give a fuck. Like before, he used to come on screen like fucking Gollum from Lord of the Rings, like, I got this thing. Come on, and he's like kind of shy and scared of it. And this, he's walking out of there like Aragorn, and that's the Steve-O that I remember. To use my Lord of the Rings
said.
examples, yeah.
Well said.
Yeah, I'm listening to what you guys are saying here. I'm listening to everything, and I'm thinking, okay, so you're talking about the hero moment, the walk back in the sunset to the hotel, and Steve-O with a smile on his face, a shit-eating grin, if you will. And I just can't help but wonder if this was all born out of spontaneity. And Chris, you kind of alluded to that, like a one-take kind of moment where it's just he did his thing, and then it was in and out, and it happened in a moment. I'm kind of wondering if that's why you guys are perceiving it as so special too, because I almost wonder if when Steve-O got up on the unicycle, part of him was like, oh yeah, I could do this, no problem. But you see he falls in after being on the unicycle for like 3 seconds. And then at that point, if he was just like, well, I'm already covered in shit, well, let's, fucking jump in there a little bit and have some fun with it. And I think him just accepting that the worst of it is over, let's just make this a good sketch, kind of played into that walk into the sunset, that moment of, yep, I committed fully to that and I feel good about that.
I totally agree. I think that is exactly it. And I think one of the key moments is when he comes out and he's clearly in agony and everyone's gagging on the sidelines and he blows 2 snot rockets, like his nose full of shit water. And he blows 2 snot rockets and then just jumps back in. And everyone is like, you maniac. And that's like, in my mind, him hearing Johnny say, well, when you got to be dumb, you got to be tough, is like, that is what gave him the validation that he needed. And that's what set the rest of his career and his charisma on that path. Whether it was all spontaneity or not, I think almost doesn't even matter because he orchestrated it. This was all him. And if he knew how to make it seem like he just happened to fall in, whether he did or didn't, it still worked with the tone of the sketch. I really, really liked it for some. How dumb does this sound? How fucking dumb does this sound? In a vacuum. When I saw Steve-O fall in a river of shit and walk back to his place vomiting all the way, I almost wanted to cry because of how sentimental I felt.
I couldn't say that that's exactly what it was for me.
Yeah,
it was so weird,
yeah. Man. I loved it.
Yep. You've finally become comfortable with yourself as a human being once you can jump into a river of shit and come out smiling. Or you just have a poo fetish. I don't know.
That's true.
I'm going to give this one a solid 7 out of 10. I know you guys are going high. I can already feel that coming. I'm not saying this was bad. You guys actually helped me bump it up a few points. I'll be honest with you. I was probably going to sit around 5.5 or 6 before we talked about it. But I don't know. I guess I didn't initially see that sunset walk and the sense of satisfaction, but I'm seeing it now and I appreciate it. And Steve-O, hats off to you, because that was some disgusting looking water. Like when we say shit water, it's not just like, clear water with some logs in it or something, or it's maybe a little murky. This looked like watered down motor oil or something. It was like black
mud, and
gross,
it was honestly more gross than when Ryan Dunn jumped in at the sewage plant, because that would have been partially treated. This was just like fucking gross nature shit. Chris, what about you?
I'm gonna go with it. I'm gonna go with a 9.5 out of 10. It was the birth of Steve-O, as far as I'm concerned. He had his moment that truly made him become who he is, and if it wasn't for this, maybe he never would have grown into himself the same way as he did. So I have to give a lot of credit to that.
Yeah, I love it. I think in watching, and I know we're supposed to keep the review short, but I have something I want to say on this one. I think when I was watching Steve-O in the earlier parts of this show, he was always missing something in his sketches. And in this one, when he jumps into the shit water and reaches into his unicycle, it's like he finds the thing that was missing all along. This is the birth of Steve-O. I don't think this sketch is missing anything. I don't know, because this is a Steve-O sketch, it doesn't need everyone from Jackass. And for it being what it is, from the spontaneity to the vomiting to the laughter to the pain to the astonishment of the people who are there, I'm giving this one a 10. I don't know how you make a Steve-O sketch better than this one. It was so good for so many reasons. And I also am giving it a little bit of that because this one will imbue every further Steve-O sketch with a bit more charisma because of what he takes away from it. It's almost like peak Jackass, this one. I love it.
Cool.
Taking us out with a bang, Mikey.
It's over 9,000, Jay says in the spreadsheet. I love that.
Oh, it's almost over 9,000. Okay, now it's over.
Now 9, it's over 9,000.
9,001, motherfucker. Yeah, no, a 10 out of 10, Mikey, that's what you said, right? That is the highest we can give, unless you're just being a dick for some reason. But we all know our score system. That is, I as much as I maybe don't agree with the 10, I feel the enthusiasm, and goddamn, that is a way to take this show out with a bang. Fireworks, baby, I love it. Let's wrap this one up. That is another episode of Jackass. And we do get a credit roll. There isn't much here that I wanted to talk about, but I did see one thing that made me kind of chuckle, and I'll put in a clip here. Eddie busting rhymes like a real OG at the auto shop. Gotta like that. Oh, and Chris Pontius taking the bullwhip. That was kind of hot.
Oh, yeah. That one looked really rough. So, yeah.
There you go. That's another episode of Jackass, guys. We made it, and I can't believe that this one kind of snuck up on me, because when I was watching it, I didn't think I was enjoying it as much as I did, but then it seems like the more we talked about it, the more it grew on me. I am looking back at the spreadsheet, and I gave mostly 7s today. I see quite a few high scores for you two as well, and yeah, actually it surprised this one.
Yeah, slow burn. Slow burn on this one for sure.
Slow burn, baby.
We should say, though, we did have the question leading off the end of last episode. The question was, if you wanted to make your stunt, you needed an item, an animal, and a location. We had horse eggs, at horse_eggs on Twitter, tweet at us, a pool of eye boogers, a horse, and a trampoline. God damn the things that you could do with that. I don't know. I have a question to follow up. And
I have, there's a few other responses.
Oh, we did get some more. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
okay, let's hear them. Let's hear them.
We had a guy named AIDS Dude. Oh, sorry. No, sorry. It's aid.dood. Okay. Sorry, maybe I misread that wrong. Hopefully he doesn't have AIDS.
Is he the guy is he the guy that fucked that monkey?
Maybe. But you know what? It's a very livable condition these days.
It's true.
It could be untraceable. Yeah.
So you just hear Steve.
He said blood, lion, and steak strapped. Ooh. Didn't finish anything else off. But I'm going to fill in the blanks and say steak strapped to somebody. And then we also had our good buddy over there, Joey Greco again, saying nothing can beat Chris Pontius and horse jizz from Jackass #2, which I definitely thought that was a great sketch as well. So you got the next question there, Mikey? Yeah,
I get one. I want to pose this one, the same one we asked, guys. You're going down the ramp. What item are you taking with you? Let's hear your responses over at JackassPod on Twitter and Instagram, or jackassPod@gmail.com. Send us some Gmail emails.
Sounds good. Yeah, make sure to check out our stuff, like Mikey said. And yeah, boys, I can't believe it, but episode 8 is right around the corner. So this is the final episode of the season already. Wow, flew right by. So we're going to be coming out with that. And then I just got to make a quick correction here that I think on the show, somebody pointed out, and we might have mentioned this already, but we were getting all revved up for the big Jackass Forever release.
Oh,
in a
right.
week. Not coming out in a week from now, so we apologize if anybody else got as hyped as we were. It's I guess it's set for October. Is that right? End of October.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know where we got our info from. But hey, we're going to have to wait a little longer than we anticipated. So the plan initially was to get the Jackass Forever review out for you at the end of the season, but instead we'll just move forward as we normally do. We've got some surprises coming up too for the end of season 2. Take a bit of a detour for a bit before we jump back in. So stick around with us. Lots of good stuff to come. But until next week with season 2, episode 8, that's it for us. Bye. I'm Jason Wellwood.
Bye. I'm Chris Aaronworth.
Bye, I'm Mikey Aaronworth, and this has been Jackast.
Furnished by Sad Styles Productions.
Get into it!
This was a Press X for Sound audio production.